and gentlemen, this is the era of technology and millennials. So millennials will be more familiar and friendly with technology. We should consider using the best possible technology. So, the motion today is this house belief that online learning brings more harm than good. First thing first, I would like to tell you what the definition of this motion. There is two kind of keyword which is raised by this motion, listener. So the first is online and the second is learning. I will tell you first about the online. Online is one of the method to connect each other every time and everywhere. And the learning is an activities which is done by the teacher and student in order to obtain information, knowledge, and skill. So by the conclude, online learning online learning has is the method to connect each other, which is the actor is teacher and student, in order to obtain information, knowledge, and skill, ladies and gentlemen. So I will tell you what the background so this motion can appear now. So on 2020, the world has been faced by the pandemic disaster, namely the COVID-19. So all the activities that usually we do it offline and directly must be done online to avoid spreading of the virus, include in learning activities. But still so many people raise this topic as a debate, which is the online learning is bring more harm or bring more good. So we stand here as an affirmative. We will debate and proudly say we believe that online learning is bring more good for this time because of the background, which is a pandemic of COVID-19. So going to our stance, we believe that online learning is really good method to do now. One of the reason is because of pandemic, but also learning method is bring more good always, even that the pandemic is over. So we still believe anyway online method is bring more good in this era which is which is like what I mentioned earlier, as a millennial era and technology era. So I'm going to my first argument, which is my first argument is here I have a 2 point of argument, which is the first is it's good to avoid spreading of COVID-19, and the second argument is about the effectivity to the effectivity to the millennial. So I'm going to the first argument, which is it's good to avoid spreading of COVID-19. So the pandemic demand us to do everything at home, also in learning activities. How it can avoid the virus, ladies and gentlemen? So this is very easy as question to ask, because we don't have any physical contact with other people by doing the online learning. We know that the virus can spread by a physical contact, right? And if we apply offline learning, of course there will be so many physical contact, and the virus cannot be avoided. For example, on school, if we apply offline learning, we must do everything normally, study with friends in one class together, do direct interaction between student and teacher, buy something on canteen, and many more interaction. So all this virus can avoid by do the protocol that government has stated. It will not guarantee, because the interaction of student, that so many students cannot be predicted. There must be physical contact, because this is a lot of count of a student. Of course, the physical contact cannot be avoided, and there is no guarantee that the virus can spread, ladies and gentlemen. So, but in online learning, we do it not directly and just stay at our home. So there's no potential to do interaction with other in a big count, like in a big count of people, like what the offline learning, like what the offline learning style. So that must so that the spread of the virus, we can avoid that. So we can avoid the spread of the virus by doing the online learning. That is the first thing important why we should apply online learning, because we must to avoid the spread of the virus, because the first thing is about the safety. And then the second point is about it more effective to do with millennial. Why I can say be like that? Why I can say earlier that this is very good strategy even that the pandemic is over? I'll explain now in my argument. So millennial is really close and friendly to technology. So everything about the technology is usual thing for a millennial. So I can say the millennial and technology is very friendly. And then the millennial every day always faced by the technology. So this is what I mean about the millennial is very friendly with the technology. So also if we do online learning, this is really good strategy, because this is a very effective to do, because the millennials is friendly with technology. Because millennials are more into, why I can say that this is very good strategy, because millennials are more interest and more habitual with technology, and all about technology is fun. It's fun for millennial, of course. So it's very good strategy by use technology, because it can make students feel fun and interest to study. Why if we make a student feel interest by using the technology, and in this case about the learning, so we will make a fun method of learning by use the technology. Why you use the technology, so it can increase the motivation and interesting from student to study well. And also technology bring confines to the student, and also technology bring more good for the student, bring more good on the student. Of course, in this case is online learning. What is the example? The example is the material is easy to save by the digital, and the second is the student can easily to do their task by just give a question in one application in their smartphone. And then the third is the book can save by student just in one grip or handphone. So the student should not pay for a book again, to buy a book again. Example, student can do their task by solve the quiz in application, and the student can watch the interesting and interactive videos about the material, and many more fun things that student can do with the technology. So this is why by this statement we believe that online learning is really suitable for millennials, because of the technology. Online learning is more suitable for millennials because of the technology. And technology provide a lot of new and fun thing for students, so it will be a good strategy to build the interesting of student to study well and more productive, and has a good learning method. So that's why we are really proud to be proposed.